Hey, everybody, and welcome to Bats in the Belfry. Um, so
Our very first episode, baby.
this is where you'll get us uncensored. Before we get to ourselves, so we kind of want to call you something. Obviously, in Hemlock Reads, we don't really introduce ourselves or anything to you. It's just the story, the true crime thing, which you would have seen at this point on the other channel.
I'm still editing that. I have to cut out so many awkward giggles and pauses and my children interrupting. I'm so sorry, everybody. But
I don't even
yeah.
remember how we introduce them in there. I don't. Whatever. The point is,
Boils and ghouls, but I don't know how I feel about it, and I don't know if we want to stick with it. But yeah.
So I guess we will start with introducing ourselves.
Yeah.
All right. I am October, aka Hemlock. I am usually the voice behind everything.
I am Seth, aka Cyanide. I am generally the editor of everything.
She did do the first true crime though, so
Yeah. I mean,
props.
the True Crime Files was my idea because we love true crime.
Yes.
And I wanted to incorporate that into our channel. So that's where I'm just gonna go ahead and apologize for my voice and the way I speak because I have a hearing impairment or what do they call it? A significant hearing loss. And it leads to me speaking kind of weird. I promise y'all will get used to it, but if you hate it and you never want to hear me speak again, I will understand.
Let's see. I am 31. I have I didn't want to do this, but I'm salty, so I am newly single. And yes, I am a fiend when it comes to anything weird or spooky. Um, so that's what the podcast is. Like we have our creepy stories, which hopefully everyone's liking. I love doing it because I'm weird and I just like reading to people. We have our true crime segment, which is new, that we're gonna alternate on.
Yeah, and we're also still finding our footing with that. So give us a little bit of space with that, and once we find our niche, with it, we'll be good. Yeah. It will be beautiful every time.
Yes. What else? So this is going to launch the second channel, which is Two Ghouls Uncensored, not Two Haunted Ghouls, where we can be more candid and playful and show you the personalities behind someone who just either reads from something that's kind of scripted, which is what we do for true crime, or something that's not our story. We're just portraying it. And you can't really put your personality behind that. So that's what this is. This is, that's what the entire channel is going to be, because we are actually planning on gaming here as well, which is terrifying. Because there are awkward pauses sometimes where we don't say anything because we're super focused.
Oh no, it's fine. I'll edit that out.
Oh God. What else? I mean, I have the opportunity to talk about myself, and now I'm like, do I really want to just talk about myself? I don't.
Tell them about your tattoos.
Yes, I am quote unquote heavily tattooed.
Quote unquote.
According to some tattoo artists. I have 17 now.
Yep.
I think I just got a new piece on my leg 2 weeks ago, which was the worst experience of my life. but most of my tattoos are, well, all of my tattoos are either spooky or horror related or Halloween related, music related, or nerd related. There is no in between.
There is no in between.
I am working, my next piece is probably going to be a horror piece, so I'm excited about that. I proudly wear what I like literally on my sleeves. No
Hell
pun
yeah.
intended. But like if you want to know what I like, just look at me and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Got it.
Hell yeah.
um, I guess we can tell you a little bit about what this is going to be. Like I kind of
Well,
vaguely touched on it.
in a minute.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just trying to get that out of the way.
Or just, I mean, we could. It's not a big deal. I'll introduce myself after that. Haha.
Uh she's like, I can escape.
You don't need to know anything about me. I am a mystery.
You're the woman behind the camera.
I'm the woman behind the computer crying when Fillmore doesn't like me and crying when I can't figure out Premiere.
We'll work on that. No, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Yay! So, like I said earlier, I am Steph, aka Cyanide, generally the editor. Sometimes I will come in as like a guest voice for some stories and all that jazz. True crime files, podcasts, things like that. I am 31. I will be 32 in November. Yay, fall baby. I I have 2 cats, 2 children, and 1 husband.
Just
For
one.
now. For now. Mwahaha. um, my 2 cats. I have Alice, and I've had her for quite a long time. She is 12. She'll be 13 in February. She had a brother, Eddie. He died in 2018. I miss him very much because he was my baby. But Alice is also my baby. She's a big cuddle bug. And our second cat is Mizzy, or, well, her real name is Misery, and she is but we call her Mizzy. And we adopted her, after Eddie died. And she was a mean little thing for a while, but now she's a happy fat little sausage roll. I love her very much. She is also very much my husband's cat. She is not my
Mm-hmm.
cat.
She's daddy's girl.
hmm My children are, I'm not going to name them because that's my personal life, but I have a boy and a girl. My girl is currently 7, and my boy is currently 4. I love them very much, but they are also spawns of Satan.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And my husband is a grown ass man who does his own thing. Anyway, I I have a very, I guess you could say, macabre obsession with dark and spooky and, scary things. I'm also very, very fascinated and interested in all things psychology, like how does the mind work? What makes someone a serial killer? Which could be a topic we discuss day two, not today, but like later in another episode. So stay tuned if you're into that kind of shit. But yeah, I was going to school for psychology, and but then I got depressed and dropped out because I was going through a divorce with my first husband. Yay! And also, it turned out that online school was a scam. So that is credentials I can't use.
Mhm.
So I have to wait until that debt clears, and then I'm thinking about going back to school for it because I'm very interested in criminal psychology and things like that. Uh, what else? My favorite color is purple. I'm like scraping, trying to figure out what else to say about me. Um, I only have 3 tattoos currently. You could say 4, but I don't personally really count it anymore since my one of my tattoos is a cover up of another one. Technically 4, but there's only really 3. And they are well, one is my daughter's name, and I will get my son's name when I can. One is a big giant black star that covers up my ex's name. I have plans for it to actually make sense as a tattoo. I'm just ain't doing that right now. And the first one I ever got is a Tim Burton inspired looking uh skull and crossbow with a crown. And I got that when I was 18 because pirates are a huge thing for me. They yeah, nerdy things, horror things, pirates apparently. Uh, those are my jam. Oof. Sorry, I've got Alice on my chest right now because she won't leave me alone and she needs cuddles. So if you hear a weird purring or like a weird noise, it's probably her.
Oh my god. All right. I'm not giving that much detail about myself because I'm sure I'll share things eventually.
My favorite color, purple. I'm an idiot.
All right. So, uh, I think bells in the bells bats in the belfry. Sorry, it's really whatever. Anyway, is going to be a place where we can maybe.
Have a,
I mean,
have a
what?
conversation.
Yes, with you about everything that we've talked about: horror, true
Mm-hmm.
crime, sometimes maybe
What's going
topics.
on in the world?
Yeah, like topics
Yeah.
that are popular or something that's close to home for us. So they're not
Things
always
that,
going to be goofy.
yeah. Well, we may also talk about things that are serious, things that are bothering us, things that, we may even rant now and then
Yeah.
about things. We also want to create a space where we can uh, support each other, especially those who have problems, any mental illnesses, because we have those, and we have found, even though it's hard to admit it sometimes, but we've found that it's easier to handle them when we have support, especially from people who understand
Yes.
and things like that.
If I didn't have the support that I have right now going through a breakup, I would not be okay.
I mean, like, I wouldn't go so far, me personally, because I'm not entirely in your head, although I'm somewhat in there. Yay, bestie bond. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that you wouldn't still be here, but I would go so far as to say you might go on a rage.
Oh, yeah.
And no one, honestly, we're not going to tell y'all what happened, but if you knew what happened, you would understand and probably go on a rage yourself. It was not pretty. It was not pretty.
This is not how I expected the first episode to go, but 2020 sucks ass and
Yeah.
haven't had the best luck with life.
No. 2020 can just no, we need to erase this year. Everything that happened did not happen this year, and we're just gonna skip it on over to 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and just 2020 does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
Rewind it, erase it. Does not exist. Too many good people died this year, whether from illnesses they've been battling for a while or from COVID itself. It's or from the wildfires that are raging currently.
They're not that bad. It
Well,
rained.
have they finally settled down?
Yeah, it's been raining, so it's kind of
Yeah,
clear.
that's right.
Yes,
God.
I live on the West Coast. I won't tell you where, but I do live on the West Coast. And I
Mhm.
had to deal with that for 2 weeks. Today is the first day that I can have my windows open.
Yeah.
And I am like rejoicing because I can see the sky.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with the wildfires in person because I live in the South. But I do have, I did have to, there were a couple of times when I woke up and I was just kind of like, are you okay? Are you still alive? Are you still breathing? Are you on fire? Please tell me the correct answers to these questions. Please tell me you're alive, you're not on fire, you're okay. Okay. Because, oof, it sucks when I can't, like, physically be there to hug you sometimes. Just be like, it's okay. I'm going to keep you safe somehow. Don't know what that, but okay. Anyway.
But yes, so some of the ideas I have for podcasts is I don't know, maybe go in depths about movies that we like, or maybe if there's a new popular horror movie out, we could talk about that after we see it. Um,
We could also talk about like old slash vintage slash classic horror, some of the horror movies that kind of were a building brick
I am
or
a
building
bad
block.
horror fan, and I still haven't seen like the classic monster movies.
I mean, I haven't either. Well, except for the original Dracula.
Yeah, I haven't seen Nosferatu, I haven't seen Dracula, haven't seen Wolfman, haven't seen Frankenstein. Like that's one of my goals, and maybe we can kind of do this and like talk about it.
Yeah.
Um is starting on the first day of fall, I'm going to watch a new horror, quote unquote, loosely based horror movie every day. And it can't
Ooh.
be something I've seen, but like this is separate from me doing 31 days of Halloween, which is where me and my roommate, maybe me and my best friend, watch a horror movie every day in the month of October.
Mm,
Um but like this is a totally separate thing because I want to expand my horizon in film because I am in the process of going to film school. uh,
yeah.
I thought that what I'm going through currently would have thrown a wrench in that, but it has just pushed me to want to do this as, and I'm petty when it comes to this, but as an fu to this person.
Do it anyways, baby.
I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it better.
Hell yeah. And like if you want to do that, I have a list for you because I have a deep love and appreciation for old movies, such as like Arsenic and Old Lace with the
Yeah, I want to watch that.
fucking amazing Cary Grant. I fucking love Cary Grant. Uh, Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte with Olivia de Havilland and Betty Davis. That's one of my absolutely all-time favorite movies, and I wish I had a DVD player again so I could. I also need to find it, but I wish I had a DVD player again so I could watch it. There's those. There are a bunch of old Vincent Price movies that are fucking amazing.
Oh, see, now I've seen those. I love Vincent Price.
Oh, Vincent Price. Hell yeah. His voice is so iconic.
And that laugh.
Yes!
I love
The
his laugh.
Vincent Price laugh where you're just kind of like, not much scares me anymore, but that still sends a chill down my spine. Thank you, sir.
Fun fact, I used to be obsessed with Michael Jackson's Thriller album, like the entire thing, that
Hell
I played the cassette tape. Yes, I'm that old. I played the cassette tape so much that I wore the songs off of the tape. And I was always terrified when Thriller came on because I hated his laugh.
yeah. I mean, don't feel bad. I was obsessed with Michael Jackson's Bad album. I was though. Oh, I thought he was so gorgeous.
I just loved his music. I don't know. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
that's a whole nother look. If we, I feel like one of the biggest things we can talk on here because we can be uncensored and edit it, and it doesn't have to be like crisp like the other stuff, is
Hmm.
our thoughts and theories about
Celebrities.
what one YouTuber used to do. We're not going to mention the name, but like it got me into wanting to research celebrity conspiracies
Yeah.
and like further my love for conspiracies. And I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
we can kind of take that back.
Oh, I'm not gonna. I love conspiracy theories. Give me that. Give me all the conspiracy theories. I don't care if they're batshit crazy and they make absolutely zero sense.
Hmm.
I want to hear them. I want to hear them.
I went down a rabbit hole and I watched like 5 hours worth of stuff on YouTube about conspiracy theories,
Hmm.
and it
I
just relit the flame.
Yeah. I've done the same with I'll do it with like specific people. Like I do it with Michael Jackson a lot.
JFK.
Because there's a lot there. Okay. This is a topic for a whole nother thing, but what I will say is something doesn't sit right with me about the accusations against him.
Yeah.
And I am normally the first person who, once there's accusation about someone being incredibly abusive towards children, I am one of the first people to sit there and be like, fuck that motherfucker. But it's just something just doesn't sit right with me, and so I'm trying to learn all I can to make a decision, an informed decision for myself on what I believe. And I think more people should do that. I think more people should, when you hear something, whether it sounds credible or not, research it, learn about it, then decide for yourself. Does this make sense? Is this something that would happen? Whatever. Or this doesn't make sense. This is stupid. Why are people believing this? Don't just take things at face value and be like, yep, that's the truth, and walk away.
Do your research, people.
Do your research.
Um, but yes, I don't know. Whatever we feel like doing. So this is going to be for now. It's going to be monthly because we have a lot of other things on our plate.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever we're feeling at the moment. This isn't scripted. We don't have an idea of what we're going to talk about. We just kind of whatever's on our mind, I guess.
I mean, we can, together, we can just make up a list and throw a dart at it. Spin, just make a wheel, spin it. Ah, that's the topic for today. Cool. 5 seconds before we hit record.
Hey, at least it would be honest.
Oh, yeah. Because that is the whole point of this. It's for honest, unfiltered. We're not going to do research on things to talk about. We're just going to talk about what we know. If we've already done research on it, then we'll have a better informed opinion. But we're just going to talk about what we know,
Yeah.
or what we think, or how we feel, or it's a conversation. And you guys are thoroughly invited and welcome to take part in the comments below. We also have a Discord that y'all can join, and you can have conversations with us there too.
I feel like that's where we can do some gaming too to kind of
Oh yeah,
interact with y'all.
yeah. We can do. We can go live, and y'all can talk to us and laugh at us, or we might even do like some podcast lives where we can talk about stuff, read your comments and stuff, and respond and have a back and forth. things like that. I mean, there are many options, and we are willing to explore pretty much all of them because we do want a community. We want a wonderful, supportive community, and because that's what we benefit the most from, and we feel like people benefit from that, and we want to help that, and we want to help make that. Cat, cat.
Real quick, I guess, since this is just our introduction
Mm-hmm.
type, like what you can expect, since we are two haunted ghouls or two ghouls uncensored, I feel like it's appropriate to
Ow.
kind of, I guess, tell them either where our love of horror came from, or
I.
like what sparked it, like what movie sparked it.
So you go first.
Okay. Um, so I was allowed to watch horror movies with my dad when I was younger. Can't tell you the age. Age is irrelevant when it comes to that. But I used to watch them with him. Granted, they weren't like the slashers at first. They were pretty tame, or they were the really bad sci-fi ones. Um, but the first horror movie that I can remember watching was Gremlins, and I was young enough that it caused me to have night terrors. Not
Oh no.
nightmares, but night terrors that I couldn't wake up from because I was being chased by these little fucking things.
Oh no.
And so for a long time, I refused to ever watch that movie because I was so scarred.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of explored. Um, when I was really young, my friends would come over. We would go to the video store and we would rent one or two movies, and they would always be horror movies. I don't know why. I don't know if I influenced it, but like it was always horror movies. And we would watch the really bad ones that looked cool on the covers, but then
Uh,
yeah, the ones that mislead you.
I love those sometimes because they can be hilariously bad.
And I used to watch them with my cousin, who was like kind of my best friend when I was younger. We would watch them at my grandma's house. Uh,
Oh.
we would watch it a lot, the original one. And for the longest time, I was terrified of clowns.
Oh yeah.
Now that I'm obsessed with them, and like it's funny because I would watch it, and we would watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I was scared of clowns. I think he just did it to torture me, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I never really had. Oh well, that's not true. I had a very intense fear of Ronald McDonald.
I mean, dude's creepy.
Dude, so I had this one nightmare about Ronald McDonald when I was younger, where it would be my grandma and I were taking a bath. Yeah, I was young enough to still need an adult to bathe with me or bathe me. And we're running the water and we're getting ready to fill up the tub. Like she she had this really old bathtub where you had to put a stopper in it. But before we could put the stopper in it, blood would start coming up from, from the drain. And, and as it would continue coming up, and I can't believe I still remember this, but I must have scarred the fuck out of me. But blood would come up out of the drain, and as it would continue coming up and pooling into the tub, so would Ronald McDonald. Yep.
No, thank you.
Yeah. It took a long time for me to bathe in my grandmother's bathroom again after that. Cause hell no. My parents would be like, "But we're staying here for a couple of days. You need to take a bath," and I'd be like, "No, you don't understand, and you did not see the things I have seen." But yeah, so Gremlins for you.
Mm-hmm.
My Scooby Doo for me. The show obviously at first, but my absolute favorite Scooby-Doo movie was Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. And my favorite Scooby-Doo series was Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghost, I believe it's called. It's been a while. But yeah, Scooby-Doo was basically my introduction. And I think the first spooky, if you want to call it that, movie I saw was actually Edward Scissorhands. And then I discovered Interview with a Vampire one day, early morning, watching some TV before school. My parents had left it on one of the movie channels that night, that they were watching before bed. And I turned it on, and there was Interview with a Vampire on. And that sparked my love for vampires. Yay, me. But yeah, Scooby Doo, Edward Scissorhands, Interview with a Vampire. But I
Like,
also, you're back to the fear of clown thing. I never, I didn't really have that problem with it because I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show first.
mm-hmm.
And once you've seen Tim McCurry in a corset and pearls and high heels, you're kind of not really scared of Pennywise after that. Because I swear to you, y'all, I was waiting for him to open up that clown costume and reveal that corset every time. But I do love the movie, so I
I
do.
I love the new It. Like, no shade to the old one, but the new one is just, it's more in depth, it's more accurate,
Mm.
and it's, I mean, honestly, if that's your first horror movie that you're seeing now, like, especially if you're young, the guy who plays Pennywise now is like 1,000 times worse than Tim Curry, because that laugh and his smile, like, no, even he creeps me out sometimes.
Eeh. Poor Bill Skarsgård. uh, oh no, who is his brother who plays Eric?
Alex.
Thank you. I was obsessed with him. I still kind of am. Why is he so gorgeous? Sorry, off track. But also, he was a vampire the very first time I ever saw him. A vampire, and I'm obviously going to develop a crush on him. There you go. Apparently, the vampire thing is lifelong.
Um, let's see.
Did I
You
just hear screaming?
where?
I don't. Alright, y'all. Here's the other thing. We do believe in ghosts and the paranormal and things. And there are times where, like, I hear noises going on, and I'm like, was that a ghost or was that my children? Or possibly a cat, because my cats scream sometimes. Sorry, I'm just laughing at that. Like, I'm so used to it that I can just talk about it, but I realize how it must sound. Anyways, I'm sorry for interrupting. I was just like, what the hell was that noise? Because my daughter should be outside playing, and my son should be with my husband. So, what was that noise? Who made it? Anyway.
Hmm. Yes. So tell us if you like horror movies. I would hope so, considering you found this channel. Um, but if you like horror movies or Halloween movies, I don't care. What your favorite or what started your love for it, like us. Um, my favorite is tattooed on my body. Eventually, maybe I'll show off my tattoos. But my favorite is Trick or Treat with Sam. Um, Unfortunately, it has a sour taste in my mouth for reasons that aren't related to this. But my house is just covered in Sam stuff. I love it. I love the the story of it. Like, there's 5 stories that all tie together, and they're all quote unquote rules for Halloween. I don't know. It's awesome. And I was told that they possibly are making another one.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's true. I kind of hope it is because that would be amazing.
Yeah. My uh my favorite used to be Nightmare on Elm Street just because Freddy is so fucking campy. But I would have to say that Chucky, the entire Child's Play slash Chucky series, is my favorite. I love that insane, murderous little shit. I
My
love
my
him.
my little friend is staring at me right now. It's really weird that I have him just
There.
watching me in everything that I do.
So, we're almost out of time, but real quick, what is your favorite Halloween movie? Oh no, I'm sorry. Did I put you on the spot?
Yeah, because you know I can't answer this.
Well, besides like the obvious, what might be something that maybe people don't really think about when they're like, "Oh, my favorite Halloween movie is bleh."
I mean, honestly, you already know the answer probably, but my
Probably.
my favorite quote unquote Halloween movie is Coraline.
Yeah.
I it's just if you watch that as a kid, it would probably scar you for life.
Yes. Thank God that came out when we were like pretty much adults.
Right. I think it's been out for like 10 years or so, give or
Yeah.
take. So yeah, it's fairly new-ish.
It's been out for a minute. Um, I mean, that's also a question that would put me on the spot too. I was hoping that you would take longer to answer so I could have time to stall and think. But but I think I want to go with like Ghostbusters because I mean we love Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town and
Oh
a whole
yeah,
bunch of those movies. But oh no, I want to change my answer to The Frighteners.
I've never seen that.
The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox, y'all. That is my favorite Halloween movie. My husband and I make it a point now to watch it every October because we're dorks. He also loves that movie. Okay, so oh no, that didn't take as long as I thought. We have 7 minutes left.
That's all right. It doesn't have to be.
That's fine. All right, so we'll go ahead and okay. So since we are almost out of time, we would love to thank y'all for joining us today. And hopefully you enjoyed it, our little introduction. And hopefully you come back around for another one. The next one will be on Halloween.
Well, not on Halloween, I don't think.
Well, it'll be the Halloween podcast.
Yeah.
And I will leave links to the Discord and also to our Facebook page. We have a Facebook page. I haven't been promoting it with Hemlock Reads for some reason. I think I'm gonna start though because why wouldn't we? We have the page. It's ready to go, y'all. But yeah, we'll leave those links. Y'all can join them. Come talk to us. Uh, and tell us your favorite horror movie or what as you said, what started your love for horror movies, or maybe even your very first one. Whatever you feel like telling us, we'd love to know. Kitty. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah. So, uh, we love y'all. Thanks for stopping by. And stay spooky. Bye bye.
Bye.